Welcome to our comprehensive look at Kamala Harris, the 49th Vice President of the United States and a trailblazing figure in American politics. From her early days as a prosecutor in California to her groundbreaking role as the first female, first Black, and first South Asian Vice President, Kamala Harris has made history through her dedication to justice, public service, and advocacy. In this video, we'll delve into her formative years, her political rise, and the significant milestones that have defined her career. Join us as we explore the life and achievements of Kamala Harris, a prominent leader shaping the future of American politics. Kamala Harris Biography. So before we get started, make sure to hit the like button. Also subscribe to our channel. Kamala Harris, a biography. Kamala Devi Harris, born on October 20, 1964, in Oakland, California, is a trailblazing figure in American politics and the first woman, the first Black woman, and the first person of South Asian descent to serve as Vice President of the United States. Harris has carved a unique path in public service, rising from local prosecutor to the highest echelons of the U.S. government. Her career is marked by her dedication to justice, her advocacy for civil rights, and her historic role as a woman of color in positions of power. Early life and family background. Kamala Harris was born to immigrant parents who were both deeply committed to activism and education. Her mother, Shyamala Gopalan, was an Indian-American breast cancer scientist from Chennai, India, and her father, Donald Harris, was a Jamaican-American professor of economics. Growing up in Berkeley, California, Harris was exposed to social justice movements from a young age. Her parents divorced when she was 7, and she and her younger sister, Maya, were raised primarily by their mother. Harris often credits her mother's influence for shaping her views on justice and equality. She was introduced to civil rights activism early in life, attending marches with her parents, and being deeply influenced by the Black community's struggles for equality. As a result, Harris developed a strong sense of identity rooted in her dual Black and South Asian heritage. Education and early career. Harris attended Howard University, a historically Black university in Washington, D.C., where she earned a degree in political science and economics in 1986. At Howard, she was actively involved in campus life, joining the debate team and a sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha, which would play a significant role in her life later on. After graduating from Howard, Harris returned to California to attend law school at the University of California, Hastings College of the Law, where she earned her Juris Doctor in 1989. Harris passed the California bar exam in 1990 and began her career as a deputy district attorney in Alameda County, where she prosecuted cases of sexual assault, robbery, and murder. Climbing the legal and political ranks. District Attorney of San Francisco. Kamala Harris's political career began in earnest when she was elected as District Attorney of San Francisco in 2003. She became the first woman and the first African American to hold that office. During her time as DA, Harris earned a reputation as a tough-on-crime prosecutor, but also introduced progressive reforms aimed at reducing recidivism. One of her most notable programs was Back on Track, which provided first-time, non-violent drug offenders with the opportunity to avoid prison time by undergoing job training and education. However, Harris's tenure as DA was not without controversy. She refused to seek the death penalty in the case of a police officer's murder in 2004, a decision that drew significant criticism from law enforcement groups. Despite this, she won re-election in 2007 with strong support, particularly from progressive voters. Attorney General of California. In 2010, Harris ran for and won the position of Attorney General of California, becoming the first woman, the first Black person, and the first South Asian American to hold that office. As AG, Harris tackled a broad range of issues, from consumer protection and criminal justice reform to environmental preservation and the fight against human trafficking. She stood out for her advocacy on behalf of homeowners during the foreclosure crisis, negotiating a $25 billion settlement with the nation's 5 largest mortgage servicers. Harris also implemented reforms aimed at addressing racial disparities in law enforcement, and promoted policies that reduced mass incarceration, including supporting legislation to reduce low-level drug offenses from felonies to misdemeanors. Her smart-on-crime philosophy was at times controversial, as some critics felt she did not go far enough in challenging systemic racism within the criminal justice system, while others lauded her pragmatic approach. U.S. Senate career. In 2016, Harris ran for the U.S. Senate seat vacated by Barbara Boxer and won decisively, becoming the second African-American woman ever elected to the Senate. During her time in the Senate, Harris built a reputation as a tough questioner during high-profile hearings, most notably during the confirmation processes for Supreme Court Justices Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. Her sharp and incisive questioning earned her national recognition and cemented her status as a rising star within the Democratic Party. In the Senate, Harris focused on issues like healthcare reform, immigration, and criminal justice reform. She was a vocal critic of the Trump administration's policies, particularly its handling of immigration and its rollback of environmental regulations. Harris co-sponsored Medicare for All legislation and supported efforts to address climate change through initiatives like the Green New Deal. 2020 presidential campaign. In January 2019, Kamala Harris announced her candidacy for president in the 2020 election, entering a crowded field of Democratic contenders. Her campaign gained early momentum, especially after a strong performance in the first Democratic debate, where she challenged Joe Biden on his past opposition to federally mandated busing to desegregate schools. However, Harris struggled to maintain her early popularity, facing challenges in defining her policy platform and uniting various factions of the Democratic Party. By December 2019, she suspended her presidential campaign. Despite the end of her campaign, Harris remained a prominent figure in the Democratic Party, particularly during the nationwide protests over racial injustice and police brutality following the murder of George Floyd in 2020. Her experience as both a prosecutor and a lawmaker positioned her uniquely in the national conversation about criminal justice reform. Vice Presidency. On August 11, 2020, Joe Biden selected Kamala Harris as his running mate, making her the first Black woman and the first person of Indian descent to be nominated for national office by a major political party. The Biden-Harris ticket won the election on November 3, 2020, defeating incumbent President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence. On January 20, 2021, Kamala Harris was sworn in as Vice President of the United States, making history as the highest-ranking woman in the U.S. government. As Vice President, Harris has played a crucial role in advancing the Biden administration's agenda on issues such as COVID-19 relief, infrastructure, voting rights, and immigration reform. She has also been a key figure in the administration's efforts to combat the root causes of migration from Central America, leading diplomatic efforts to address poverty, violence, and corruption in the region. Harris's role as Vice President has not only broken barriers, but also positioned her as a potential future leader within the Democratic Party. Personal life. Kamala Harris is married to Douglas Emhoff, a lawyer who has taken on the role of the nation's first-ever second gentleman. Emhoff has been an active and visible presence, often accompanying Harris on official duties. Harris is also a stepmother to Emhoff's 2 children from his previous marriage, who affectionately call her Momala. Harris's personal identity, as a woman of both Indian and African heritage, has been central to her political narrative, often highlighting her multicultural background in speeches and public appearances. She frequently acknowledges the influence of her mother, who instilled in her a deep sense of justice and activism. Kamala Harris' rise to the vice presidency is a testament to her resilience, intelligence, and dedication to public service. From her early days as a prosecutor in California to her groundbreaking role as vice president, Harris has continually shattered barriers and set new precedents for women, people of color, and immigrants in U.S. politics. Her story is not only one of personal achievement, but also of the evolving nature of American democracy. Thank you for watching our detailed exploration of Kamala Harris' remarkable journey. From her pioneering career in law and politics to her historic role as vice president, Harris's story is one of breaking barriers and driving change. We hope this video has given you a deeper understanding of her impact and contributions. If you found this biography insightful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more engaging content on influential figures and key events. Stay tuned for more videos, and we appreciate your support. See you next time.